Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. We're on the deck of the Nalchi. We cleared the deck of all who would oppose us. Stealth is not our thing. And now it's time to head below decks and see what we can do about grabbing these samples. The samples and data, if I recall. And that sounded like I got karma. I did. As you creep down onto D-deck, the ship is eerily quiet. The sound of the withering storm is muted to low moans of wind and shuddering vibrations when lightning strikes. Collecting yourself, you listen carefully for any other sounds. Nothing. Your presence on the ship appears to be as yet unnoticed. Duncan cocks his head, listening intently. That's the kind of thing I like to hear, Sean. Nothing but the weather. As long as we don't get into a fight down here, we'll stay clear of trouble. Any gunfire will get their attention, and fast. Let's get the data and samples and get the hell out of here. Well, let's take it slow. No mistakes this far in. Stay low and keep your eyes and ears open. No reason to cause a fuss if we can avoid it. I hear that. And this looks to be a pretty large area. Oh! Nice arcade. Well, I guess let's open doors and hope we don't run into anyone. Diagnostic computer. This is probably up ISO's alley. This computer appears to be monitoring the controlling ship systems, power routing, alarm systems, and bilge pumps. Like everything else on the Nalchi, it's an obsolete piece of junk that doesn't even have a VR interface. Just a touch screen and keyboard. Hey, you know what? I bet we could screw with the guards down here using this computer. Draw them away to a different deck or something. Nice. Let's investigate the power routing system. The power routing system appears to be connected only to some low-level ship functions. Sewage control, HVAC, and backup battery control. Doesn't look like there's much you can do with those. Well, what about the alarms? This alarm system doesn't seem connected with the actual security alarms. It appears to be primarily a voltage and short-out protection system that engages if there's a power overload somewhere on the ship. A few tweaks and you could probably fake a voltage overload elsewhere on the ship. Yeah, let's fake an alarm. After a few adjustments, you set off a system test alarm on C-deck. It won't fool anyone for long, but they'll have to go to C-deck to make sure it's not a real alarm. Well, hopefully that did what we needed it to do. And what have we got here? Oh, whoa, there we go. Electric box. This panel's door is hanging open, the wires inside sparking occasionally. It looks like someone was recently in the process of working on the cabling but was called away. This might provide useful access to ship systems. Searching through the wires and cables, it looks like someone was in the process of upgrading the internal camera system for the Nalchi. They've left the wires exposed. Anyone with basic electronics knowledge could patch their comm link into the feed. Ooh. Okay, well we can have ISO hack the cameras or have Ractor rewire the cameras. Let's have Ractor rewire them. Ractor rapidly begins rewiring the electronics panel, swapping plugs and wires across several boards. After a moment, the panel emits a soft beep. There we are. You should be receiving the camera feeds on your comlink now. Oh? Okay, good thing we did not go in there. And I guess we have access to all the security cameras. So that would have been bad. Okay, so let's just be very careful here. What are we inspecting? Force 2 Fire Elemental Fetish. Okay, we'll send that to the stash, since we have no one who can summon such things. What about in here? I really don't want to press our luck, but... Phosphorus grenade. We will take that. We will send that with our good friend Duncan here, who is all about the grenades. Alright. So far, so good. We know not to go in there. I don't know I'll tell you what, let's head around. Because that area is not covered by the security cameras. I want to play on the arcade. Oh! We got things to inspect. Fire suppression controls. This is a control panel for the ship's water pumps and fire suppression system. The knobs and switches here can cut off or supply water to anywhere on the ship with an outlet. The readouts indicate that fire suppression system doesn't have any safety locks engaged on it. By adjusting the pressure, you could flood the hallways leading to this deck, slowing down any guards trying to reinforce the area. This would certainly set off a ship-wide alarm and draw every available guard to your position, however. Let's not do that right now because we're still good. Advanced medkit, I will take that. Let's hand that off to ISO. And that looks like an area that a drone could go through. Okay. Oh? Well, we got... medkit. Take that as well. So they are definitely expecting us to have a fight. Hand that off to Raptor. Now, there was a door we didn't go into. Oh, the bathroom. More medkits. Well, we'll definitely be prepared for whatever's coming. Let's go ahead and hand that off to Duncan. Now, maybe there's less guards here because we set off that... Ooh, crap. Okay, we know not to go there. What's up here? Nada? Not over here. So let's hustle this way, guys. We're actually going to be stealthy for once. Holy crap. Whoa. There's something in a Bacta tank. Tissue storage and test data computer. The cold storage tank and attendant machinery are lit from within the organic soup by flickering baleful lights. The tank containing Omega sequence number 358G chugs quietly with a hum of pumps and coolant. As you look at the tank, the fluid shifts and there is a soft thump as a mass of organic matter drifts up against the glass. A pale, lidless eye stares at you from within the tank. The face it resides in is a ruined mass of tumors and scabrous pustules, a mutated mass of teeth and indeterminate growths dominating for what should be a nose and mouth region. As you look, it fixes its lone eye upon you, the pupil flickering back and forth as it tracks your motions. Raptor leans closer to the tank, tapping it with the back of one index finger. Fascinating. Mutation and cancerous growths on a massive scale, yet the creature is still living, albeit with a great deal of technical assistance. I'm amazed they've managed it. Duncan pushes up against Raptor, getting directly in his face. He thrusts his lower jaw forward, tusk inches from Raptor's face. What the hell is wrong with you? We see a monster like this and you just comment on the science? This Drek's an abomination. Raptor is nonplussed, and simply shrugs. Research requires sacrifice. This creature's life and death will be meaningless unless humanity learns from it. Be it the data itself, or a caution against science without ethics. Eastern Tiger Cool, Core Pro, please input command. Alright, hold on a second, I want to see what this is. Test data computer. Project overview, phenotypic alteration, longevity research. Initial research into metagenetics presents a singular challenge, to wit, the study not of genes themselves, but of the interaction between genetics and the unseen world of astral space. If the creation of a particular metatype or magically expressed phenotype was as simple as the recombination of given amino acid sequences, then the creation of mages would be as simple as the expression of a given eye color or skin tone. Unfortunately, such expressions are far more complex. The expression of traits previously considered to be supernatural is a complex interplay between mundane DNA, the condition of the ambient manosphere at the time of development, and the interactions between genes and what we have dubbed astral shadows. Any research into these is fraught with difficulty due to their resistance to traditional, that is to say, technological instruments. Ergo, Omega Sequence 358G is a project decoupled from the usual safeguards against project overruns. We've been granted extensive magical assistance in our pursuit of higher metagenic understanding, as well as autonomy from legal concerns. As such, Omega Sequence project materials must be kept in Eastern Tiger's secure facilities only. Deviation from this may result in local law enforcement interest, and subsequent cleanup cost can be prohibited. So they're trying to make mages, essentially, without them being awakened. Phonetic alteration is a key process which allows the Omega Sequence project to progress. Ordinarily, an organism's phenotype is set and cannot be changed after a very early point in development. Morphology, phenology, replication processes, any alteration in the coding sequence of a living organism is invariably fatal, except in the case of the Omega Sequence. A combination of alkylating agents, ambient mana control, and potent alpha emitters allow us to control the replication of the Omega Sequence metagene. This is accomplished through alteration of the interactions between DNA and their astral shadows, the building blocks of metagenetics and mana-based abilities. To understand this concept, consider an Indonesian shadow play. The story one watches is not of the puppets, but the shadows they cast. A skillful puppeteer manipulates not just the puppets, but the space between the screen and the viewer. So too, it is with metagenetics. Magical aptitude, metagenetic traits, and formerly unknown parazoology are revealed when mana levels reach a sufficient point to allow the astral shadows of DNA to engage in their delicate, powerful dance of replication. To change the metagenetics of an organism, we do not manipulate only the subject's DNA, but the space between that DNA and the astral plane. We cast the requisite shadows, engendering change that cannot be explained solely by base pairs, alleles, or nucleotides. Control is our challenge. Control is a delicate art. It requires patience and perseverance as well as scientific acumen. But with a fine enough degree of control, we'll be able to replicate magical abilities, trait expression, and black swan effects. What are these black swan traits? Individuals born during events which cause ambient mana to spike have been known to express extreme magical potential and meta traits not possessed by the majority of their metatype. Research into Homo sapiens nobilis subjects born during the Awakening, for instance, indicate that ordinary elven longevity simply does not apply. There's no upper bound to their telemetric regeneration. Effectively, they appear to be immortal. Ooh. So they're also experimenting with the immortality. The goal of the Omega Sequence project is to harness and unlock these black swan meta traits, beginning with the question of the longevity factor in Homo sapiens nobilis. Treatments for extending human lifespans already exist, of course. Organ transplantation can extend life by up to 50 years, and leonization treatment can theoretically extend life for several hundred. Yet the drawback of these are apparent to any who scratch the surface. Leonization is prohibitively expensive and erodes the patient's essence with every treatment, leading to eventual systematic collapse. Organ transplant can preserve the body, but plaques build up in the patient's neural tissue, and the patient must take a cornucopia of immunosuppressants for the duration of their life. True longevity lies in preventing aging from occurring at all. Omega Sequence 358G represents our most advanced metagenetic prototype yet. Preliminary results indicate that the test clone's age will lock at 19 years and progress no further. In order to test this, we have induced artificial aging of the clone through our fast-grow organ replacement process. Unfortunately, this has led to an explosive cancer and mutation rate, rendering it non-viable for any other types of metagenetic research. Even so, the value of this test subject cannot be overstated. Man, that's rough. Okay, we're going to download the data. You download the data, wiping all traces of it from the computer. And now, let's take the samples and turn off the power. We got to put this guy down. After a few moments of worrying, a small drawer opens to present you with a rack of vials. Each one contains a scrap of tissue. You power down the machinery, the lights in the vat dim, and the creature slowly closes its single eye. As the last hum of power fades, the creature drifts away from the glass. With the data and tissue sample secured, you're ready to make your exit from the Nalchi. Pulling your comlink, you dial Captain Jomo. The Malaysian orc's face springs to life on your comlink, his tusky maw spread in a grin. Jomo is listening. You ready for a pickup, my friend? We're standing by and have eyes on the ship. Yeah, come get us. We're done here. That put a bad taste in my mouth. Easy, huh? We'll be there in a few minutes. Be ready right when we dropped you off, friend. With that, Jomo disconnects the call. In a few minutes, the only thing between you and Hong Kong will be the open ocean. The last detail is to inform the Johnson everything is complete and have him transfer payment. You rapidly dial the number Kindly Cheng gave you for Tagath. The elf on the screen has the bearing of someone with no time for pleasantries. His tone is flat when he speaks. This is Tagath. Is the task done? We're done here. We can release the data at a time and site of your choosing. That was swiftly done. Unfortunately, there's been a complication. I can't transfer you your payment until we meet in person. I've had a tail on me since I arranged the run with Kindly Chang. I think the soul paws have caught up with me and are watching to see what I'm up to. I can shake the tail, but I need to ensure my safety before this is done with. I can help with that, but it'll cost you. Tagath grimaces, but nods his head in agreement after a few seconds. I'll pay whatever it takes to get them off my back. If I can't, my family's still dead. I have a safe house in Hongcheng village that I set up before landing here. Meet me there. Call me when you're close and I'll shake the tail. As long as we get it handled in a hurry, I should be clear to get out of Hong Kong. Well, I guess we don't have much choice. I'm sorry about all of this. I really am. You disconnect the call and pocket your comm link. Things just got a whole lot more complicated. I don't like this one bit, Sean. Last-minute plan changes are the fastest way to get killed, especially if someone bloodthirsty like the Sopa rings are involved. This whole thing stinks. Sure does, but how else are we going to get paid? Listen, just keep your eyes open and be ready for anything. I want to come home in one piece, okay? As you start to move away from the Omega Sequence cargo, you realize your comlink is buzzing with an incoming call. Pulling it back out of your pocket, you answer. The caller's expression is pleasant, but there's a level of unspoken menace in his eyes, the glint of killer. Good evening, Sean. My name is Hoang Jia Min, and I represent the Blue Heaven Solpa Ring. I've just become aware that you are in possession of data and tissue samples from Project Omega Sequence number 358G. I would like those samples, and I'm willing to pay you for them. He obviously knows that we have the samples. I'm not in the habit of backing out of a deal. Nor would I expect you to be, given your exceptionally swift rise in the shadow community of Hong Kong. Understand, what I am asking of you I do not do lightly, but I am privy to information that you are not, and I think I could be of some use to you. Please, do me the honor of hearing me out. I understand you are an associate of Kindly Chang's. My own organization is far too trivial to have attracted her notice, but I believe you can help me change that. Merely doing business with you will increase our standing a great deal, and since I have information that may save your life, perhaps we can come to an arrangement? What do you mean, save my life? The Blue Heaven Ring has been retained by Eastern Tiger in order to prevent the theft of the Omega Sequence data and samples, the very things you've just taken. Your employer, whose full name is Tagath Wright, has been attempting to acquire them for some time. The entire reason the data and samples are being shipped to Seoul is because of a botched Shadowrun, one of the East Tiger facility in Tacoma where the project was being developed. Tagath Wright was the Johnson for that run. Your employer is not who he says he is, nor are his motives pure. He was never employed by Eastern Tiger, and he has no family in Seoul. As near as I have been able to determine, he's an agent of the Tir Taganir Information Secretariat, a spy, if you will. So why does he want the data? I'm not certain, but I suspect that the Council of Princes has an interest in suppressing research into elven longevity. Every scientist working on a question of potential elven immortality has been disgraced or disappeared, except for those employed by Eastern Tiger. I suspect that the elves have secrets they'd rather not have the rest of the world know. Wright's attempted to intercept Eastern Tiger's cargo at every port it's landed at. The strike in Tacoma was only the first. There was a second attempt in Perth, and a third near the Riau Islands, against the very ship you're now on. Don't think for a moment that Wright will hesitate to kill you as soon as you hand the data over to him. So, what do you say? I pay you for the data you have, and both of us can eliminate Wright and whatever hired guns he's brought along. I think this is a fair arrangement. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't believe you. These experiments are horrible. Well, I don't know. Yeah, if Wright double-crosses me, I'll kill him myself. No deal. Huang's expression darkens and his tone grows cold. I'd hope we'd be able to come to an agreement, but if you refuse to see reason, bullets may prove a more effective argument. No one crosses the Blue Heaven ring and lives. Your death will be an abject lesson in that. Well, I think you've made a new friend, Sean. I think he's unwittingly just gotten in far over his head. Well, our rep speaks for itself. Let's get back to Hong Kong. You put your comlink away and check the time. Captain Jomo should be arriving any minute. Time to head back to Hong Kong and what awaits. Ooh, so now we gotta get... Ah, there's a ladder. Excellent. Quickly. Those guys are still there. But I didn't see any pay date or anything, but we're getting out of this quick, which is very, very good. Head back to top deck. Now, where are we going to be on said deck? Oh, disembark. Cool. How about that? So, the Blue Heaven ring is not happy with us right now, and apparently White is not who he says he is. The boat ride back to Hong Kong is tense. Even Captain Jomo's jovial nature does little to lighten the mood. The deep storm swirls in the sky behind you, and although you've accomplished your mission, you wonder what's in store once you reach Ho Chung Village. What will be awaiting for you in Ho Chung? Who will betray whom? And most importantly, how you can survive the night and still get paid. You're certain these mysteries will be revealed, but how you'll learn the answers could be deadly. So, maybe we should kill everyone. Take care of the Blue Heaven ring and these people who are trying to double-cross us. I guess we'll see. So this is a new area. This is Ho Chung Village, which I guess is... Okay, the Ho Chung MTR station is a testament to high-class design left to rot over a period of 15 years. Smelling of stale urine and mold, this stop has seen better days. With any luck, you'll be able to wrap the job and leave Ho Chung before the sun's fully up. Wu runs his tongue over one of his tusks and spits on the floor. This place smells like a dive bar in Touristville. You know we're going to get jumped, right? It's just a matter of when. Huang doesn't seem like the kind of person to take disappointment well. Yeah, I don't want to warn Tagath. If he tries it, we put him in the ground. Oh, absolutely. But consider this. He knows us. He knows our rep. That means he's not going to screw up and bring a crap pack of scrubs to take us down. Whatever he pulls, he's playing for keeps. We should take it slow in Ho Chung. Look around. Get the sense of the place. Otherwise, we may walk blindly into a hornet's nest. Good call there, Rector. Is there anything... Always want to check in case I'm missing something here in these MTR stations. And... who we got? Stall vendor? Well, let's check the rest of this place. If there's going to be a trap, I want to make sure that maybe there's something we can do to prepare for it. Grab a motorcycle and just get out of here? Take a car? Okay, got a stall vendor here. Looks like we're heading into a park. This street vendor is hawking obviously cheap junk he probably bought in bulk from an outlet. Charms, trinkets, and small toys litter his stall. He waves his arms excitedly, drawing you over. Hey, friend! Friend! Come, look at my wares. Many fine souvenirs for you. How about some information instead? The vendor eyes you warily, picking a few tidbits stray food from his beard. Maybe I can help you, but how can you help me, eh? I could use strength to intimidate him, but let's help this guy out. Give him 100 new yen. The vendor greedily snatches the cred stick from your palm, turning it over and caressing it like a raccoon with a shiny coin. Yes, good. Thank you very much, my friend. There were some mercenaries moving through here earlier. Big guns, nasty expressions. I think they were from outside of Hong Kong. I didn't understand the words they were saying. I didn't see how many there were. Less than 10, but enough to be a crowd. The junk vendor goes back to organizing his shop, nodding in your direction. Anyone start shooting? Keep it away from my stall, eh? I don't want any trouble. So things are, we got an access point and an arms dealer. Okay. Interesting. Hello there, arms dealer. The powerful troll watches you impassively as you approach, her expression unchanging. You look like the kind of person who might be interested in some hardware. You got a need? I can give you a solution. You game? Well, let's see what you have. Does all you have guns? Or do you have any melee? Oh, you have no melee. That makes me a sad panda. How about some information? Anyone strange hanging around tonight? The troll eyes you impassively, taking a long time to ponder before speaking. 250 new yen, and I'll tell you everything I know. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. There's, some very mercenary people out here. I understand, though. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I am going to go ahead and end the Oh, there's some dragon lines. That's not good. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here, and in the next one, we're going to decide what exactly we're going to do here. We're going to go to this LTG access point, and also see if there's anything we can do to even the odds in our favor, and then we'll see who betrays whom. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help, and we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.